traveled. You should see failure as a hurdle in the journey, but never entertain it as an end.
Today, I, Tanisha,
And I,
along
Aditi,
will host today's session. I hope you don't find us boring.
if opportunity does not knock, build a door. Well, this is what entrepreneurs are well known for. They strongly believe in the fact not immediately, but absolutely and definitely. Entrepreneurship is living a few years of your life like most people won't. So you can spend the rest of your life like most people can't. The process of entrepreneurship can be broken down into three stages: thinking, implementing, and growing. Think of an amazing idea, do whatever it takes to make it happen, and grow every moment along the journey.
There's nothing more beautiful than someone who goes out of their way to make life beautiful for others. FredBites is one such initiative, a mentorship-driven personalized coding learning and placement preparation platform with a strong emphasis on problem solving and computer fundamentals. A place where students are taught how to think, what to think, and to crack their dream companies.
Today we have one such inspiring story amongst us. So let's welcome Mr. Aditya Verma, co-founder of PrepBytes. Sir has over 5 years of industry experience and has been part of multiple hiring sprees. He is a placement expert and known very well what is required to nail it in interviews. So let's hear it from you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Aditi and Tanisha. Hello, everyone. Are you guys able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
So, okay, great. So, do we have a chat box? Okay, great. So, we can use chat box, my dear friends. So, this is how I do it whenever I have a webinar because mics for most of the participants are off and I kind of like to keep it interactive. So, you guys can write whatever you want to in your chat box because I'll be mostly, I would say, talking to you guys rather than having a one-way conversation because one-way conversation becomes very boring and it's not fruitful for any party. Okay, great. So I guess Tanisha and Aditi has already given a kind of introduction of uh, what what I do, what my background has been, and what PrepBites actually do. But still, I'll just give you, I would say, slight background so that you would be able to relate with me and PrepBites better. Because for the next, I would say, 30 to 40 odd minutes, you have to bear me. So, just a small introduction about myself. So, my name is Aditya, and I am one of the co-founders of PrepBites, the other being Mamta Kumari. So, we started PrepBites back in 2018, and officially we got incorporated in February 2019. But we started in 2018 exploring, I would say, different research which we wanted to do, which we wanted to learn about the industry. Before that, I have worked with, I would say, a lot of individuals, especially CXOs in different, I would say, companies where I learned a lot about startups because that is always what have been in my mind and I wanted to solve actually real problems out there. So, having worked with multiple startups, I would say have given me insight of what's the reality and what it is out there, which is the truth. I would say, rather than I would say the so when we think of entrepreneurship, we always think of kind of a celebrity kind of a thing. But when you work actually in a startup or any small company, okay, let's call it a I would say very early stage company rather than a startup, so you actually understand that what's the reality. So that I have been fortunate enough to work from the beginning of my career in certain startups and with people who are at a CXO level, so that I can see it from the very top work as well parallelly at a very executive end. So that is how my journey has been, and eventually we both met, Mamta and me, in Delhi, and we kind of knew about this program. We kind of discussed about this, I would say, problem which is out there, and eventually we came along with the idea of PrepBites. So why PrepBites? Very simple. I'll actually what I'll do is the way I wanted to drive it is I'll tell you a bit about entrepreneurship, what So I won't be telling you, I would say, the things which you already know. I'll be telling you things about entrepreneurship which are hard ones. So everyone will give you, I would say, a very nice, cozy picture about entrepreneurship. I'll tell you some things which are the core realities. You should understand. So before I tell that, I just want to know. You guys can write it in the chat box. How many of you actually want to be an entrepreneur and run a business of your own? Right? I would say entrepreneur in the chat box if you want to be an entrepreneur. How many of you, all of you, the people who have joined today, how many of you want to be an entrepreneur? I want to start a business, or want to bring a change around, or rather, at least if not start a, not be an entrepreneur, at least an intrapreneur. Entrepreneur are the guys who actually do something big in a, I would say, in a bigger organization. They run a project, and they are part of it. Great. We have a lot of people who want to be an entrepreneur, or rather is looking forward to be one. Great. So let me tell you two things. First and foremost, my dear friends, you guys are very lucky to be in the era, not era, I would say, in a decade where I would say entrepreneurship in India has become far more pronounced. And if you want to do something, you will get a lot of resources, a lot of people whom you can talk about. And this is something which you guys should understand and acknowledge it, because right now there are a lot of resources. If you talk about 10 to 15 years back, things were not that easy in India to start off, or to do anything. When you actually, I would say, think of an idea and want to make it a exploding business around out of it. So it was not easy, but right now you are in a very, very sweet phase of, I would say, phase of this Indian growth story, where entrepreneurs are able to make the impact. People are able to see, I would say, the industry, the people who are actually putting money behind them are able to see their, I would say, their money getting valued, and there is actual change which is happening out there. So a lot of things. So coming back to the, I would say, agenda, or rather to the core part, which is entrepreneurship. What entrepreneurship is all about, or what are the hard things which you guys will be facing. Okay, before that, I'll just sum up my journey. I guess that is where I left. So we started off PrepBytes, and what was the problem we were trying to solve? So when we started off PrepBytes, we thought that students need last moment brushing, because before going to the interviews, they are not prepared to the max to crack the interview. So we started off with mock interviews. We just gave the mock interviews so that they can be prepared and brushed for the mock interviews, how you should behave, or how you should talk, or how you should pitch yourself in an interview. But when we went off doing that, we found that this is something which cannot be done, I would say, in 4 years of career of a student, 4 years, sorry, in a tenure of a student in a college. We are just getting into their phase towards the end of the journey, which is you cannot make a lot of changes. And it was very tough for us to make them understand certain things, because they are nurtured for last 4 years in a particular fashion. So that is where we thought that it needs to be, I would say, student needs to be mentored from the very beginning. If not beginning, at least a year before or 2 years before. So we started with a lot of courses related to placements, and then started with coding courses, so that we can make students more employable from the very beginning. Okay, when I say from the very beginning, as in like when you are into engineering colleges, you are learning, that should happen, but you should also think that if your agenda is to get a job, again, there are multiple people have different agendas. Some want to do the research, some want to do an MBA, some want to go for UPSC. A lot of, I would say, paths where students actually focus on, but I mean, a majority of them get into engineering to get a decent job. So if your agenda is to be employable, you should understand that what is it required to be employable. So that is where we thought that this audience need to be tapped rather in the final year rather than the very first to second year, and you should understand that what is required. And most of our courses are actually made or planned accordingly. So that is, in a nutshell, I would say, a journey of PrepBytes. In this, we have used the experience of Mamta, who is from, she has a background from Amazon. Before that, she was in Samsung, and my background working in startups in a product team. So I've always been a product manager. before Prep Bites. So I know what is it required in a software developer when they are actually working with in a team, or rather in a project which needs to be launched and is very fast paced. So together we came along with courses and have put in right, I would say, recipes to make it the perfect course. So that is the journey of, I would say, Prep Bites. And right now we are a very huge, I would say, community out there of students, and we are trying to bring the change which we envision, which is to make students more employable by making them understand coding in a very easy way. That is what we think, and that is what we are trying to. Obviously, we cannot be perfect on the day one, and we are trying every day. We are actually making things better. So that is how that is what PrepBites is all about, and that is a bit about me, the other co-founder, and our a little small journey. In that journey, we had many milestones. We were one of the 10, I would say, startups recognized by Google in 2018 itself, and who were actually solving for India for a cause. So we were part of it. Then we came in as a part of an acceleration cohort, which was an EdTech acceleration cohort, and eventually, right now, we just closed, I would say, a series of funds so that we can actually go to the next phase of, I would say, journey where we can impact more students' lives. So that is a small, I would say, journey of PrepBites which has been. Now coming back to the entrepreneurship. So a lot of our friends today want to be entrepreneur. What do you understand? Okay, let's do it the other way around. What do you guys understand when you say you want to do a business or you want to be an entrepreneur? What do you guys? What is the first thing? Okay, let's put it this. What is the first thing that comes in your mind when you say or when you think that you want to be an entrepreneur or you want to run a business? You can use the chat box, my dear friends. I'll be reading all of you guys' response, and the one which I actually find them, I would say, problem solving, making an impact. Okay, Anushka says bringing an idea to life. Okay, solve a problem. Great. Anyone else, guys? If you want to be an entrepreneur, if just close your eyes, just take a minute or so, 30 seconds, 10 seconds, whatever time you want. Just think. If you think of entrepreneurship, running a business, whatsoever you can come in your mind, what is the first thing that comes to your mind? Okay, take ownership, Nilay. Okay, this is something which comes in the mind. Yeah, eventually, if you think, I'm looking for something which nobody has answered. Solving problems after a ton of struggle. Okay. A viral Verma. Okay, a viral, you are saying something which gets out of experience. Anyways, providing quality with others, which others not providing. Making money. Okay, I was looking for this answer. Tanmay Gosavi. Making money. Okay, so there was one which came in from Nilay Patel. That was take ownership. Just now I came to an answer, making money. Okay, planning best execution of an idea. Okay, be an employer, give people job. Anurag, you are the third one. Okay, so these three are the basic ones. Okay, I'm being honest here. Rather than talking about things which looks good on book and which you read from all the which you should find in YouTube and all the other places where entrepreneurship has been taught. So when you close your eyes, actual things which comes into your mind is like, oh, I'm the leader of a particular, I would say, company. I'm running around. I'm like boss in a black suit and giving commands to the people. A lot of money coming in. I have a Porsche driving around. So these things come in mind. Generally, when I say a normal guy thinks of when he or she is running a business. So these things I would say are the I would say the motivators, or rather the things which keeps you, I would say, happy, and that yes, this path which I'm going to go around is going to give me these things. But actual things which actually is going to sustain, which is going to, I would say, make the complete entrepreneurship journey of yours sustainable is the impact which you want to bring. Okay, if that is very clear in your head, if that part or that motivation is clean, is very much, I would say, solid in your head, which you might have heard is your why you are doing it is very clear in your head, then I would say you will be able to sustain this journey. It's not a very easy journey. Okay, a viral, I guess, have said solving problems after a ton of struggle. Okay, I'm sorry if I'm taking your name wrong. It's Aviral, or I'm not sure. It might be Aviral. Okay, because that makes some sense. Aviral. Okay. I'm sorry if I pronounce your wrong, Mr. Verma, wrong. Okay, let's call you Mr. Verma. Okay, so he's saying solving problems after a ton of struggle, and so the ton of struggle is right. Solving problem after ton of struggle is not very accurate. Okay, because you will be trying to solve the problem from day one. Struggles are a part of it. Okay, for an entrepreneur or for a person who is starting a company, always remember one thing is for sure, that you will struggle. 100% sure. Nobody can deny that you will. Nobody is going. Not even if you say, if you give, I would say, 100 crores to a guy and say that run a business, even that particular person is going to struggle. Struggle is inevitable. It is inherent part of running a business. Okay, so that is the, I would say, core part which you have to understand. But while solving the problem, if you will be facing after doing a lot of struggles, you'll start solving the problem. That's not true. Okay, you will be solving problem from day one. Yes, the way in which you are solving the problem might differ from day one to day 100. In day one, you are just, let's suppose you are running an e-learning business. I know this best, so I'll tell you. In day one, you are running an e-learning business. You need LMS, a learning management system, for students to upload your video lecture and for them to log in and then learn. In day one, you might not be able to give an LMS, but in day one, you might be able to give 4 YouTube videos, or rather you can start a live session on Zoom. Okay, so that is where you are trying to solve the problem. What is the problem? You're trying to educate a set of people, make them more employable, or you're trying to train them something. So in day one, you're able to solve problem by some means, not the perfect means. In day 100, you might be solving it to certain better extent, but not to the perfect extent. Okay, so that is what I would say I just wanted to explain what Aviral has said, that yes, it's right, the struggle is out there, but in a nutshell, what is it that is driving you guys? That is very important. So when you just, I would say, thought of the first thing which comes into your mind. So for the people who takes it the way that making money is one of the ways, getting, I would say, running people around and making them, I would say, run them as per your own aspirations. So, and I would say, make them do jobs, or rather to be a leader of them. These are the parts which are true, but ultimately your why should be very strong. That is very, very important, guys. And you should always understand that this is something, this particular why of yours, ki mere ko kyun karna hai. Okay, all of you are comfortable in Hindi. If I am using any sort of Hindi words in between, just let me know. If not, just write no in the chat box, or else I won't be using it. I'll be completely speaking in English. Anyone who is not comfortable with Hindi, write no in the chat box. I think using both the languages, perfectly comfortable. Okay, fine, great. If you guys are comfortable. Okay, so what I'm saying is, mere ko kyun karna hai? Why I want to do entrepreneurship? Why? What is the problem I want to solve? Rest of the things will fall in place. Money, fame, leadership. I would say running an office. These all are inevitable. This is going to work. Yes, Vishnu Rathod. This is English. Okay, so I kind of at times try to use both the languages because it's able to it makes it more relatable. Okay, for the students, for the folks who are comfortable with both the languages, or it's very monotonous kind of a lecture. Okay, great. So this is something which I want to tell you guys, that whensoever, if your why is clear, any sort of hurdles, for example, there will be a time when you will not be able to find your co-founder. Okay, or you think that you cannot do it alone, you won't be able to find a tech team, you won't be able to find, I would say, right marketing channel. So you will be struggling at every phase. You will be struggling. There are different phases of entrepreneurship, of, I would say, business. Initially, it's just an idea. Then it becomes, I would say, a prototype. And if it has a prototype, it then becomes a prototype. Then once the prototype is out there, you see your initial phase of customers. Then you want to build a, I would say, team. And then later on, there comes a phase where you are an early stage company, where you have 30 to 50 people working for you. And then you become, I would say, a company where you have, like, say, more than 3-digit workers working for you, or our team grows to an extent that you are not even limited to one office, you have multiple offices. So multiple phases. At every phase, a different kind of struggle will come. So you have to understand that ultimately your why should be very clear. If you have money, if you don't have money, if you don't have team, if you don't have right people in, That is the most important thing. Okay. Now there is another thing which I would say I want to talk to you guys. How many of you have right now have an idea? Okay, let's see that how many of you have idea. When you say that I want to do entrepreneurship, how many of you an idea? Okay, Nilay has it, Aviral has it, Mayank has it, Deep has it, Abhishek has it, Priya Gupta has it, Devanshu has it. Great, Aditi Yadav has it. Anyone else? People who have idea. It's not, by the way, it's not necessary to have an idea if you want to be an entrepreneur. If you just want to bring a change, that's enough. Okay. Okay. Mohit Kothari has an idea. Great. So for all the folks who have an idea, okay, it's nice to have first and foremost, because without idea you cannot do anything. Okay, that is the first and foremost, I would say, the fundamental of entrepreneurship, because that is something which is going to be implemented. But always remember one thing. It's nice to be, I would say, passionate about your idea. Okay, now I'm talking about your journey from idea to, I would say, a stage where you would have a favorably a revenue generating, or you will have a traction, I would say traction, a company which will have a traction. Okay, so let's come to the idea part. It's nice to be passionate about your idea. Okay, again I'm repeating, it's nice to be passionate about your idea, but don't be blindfolded and I would say not realize the fact that your idea is either ahead of time or behind the time. Okay, you should always do certain experiments to make sure that your audience wants what you want to give. You cannot give something to someone they don't want just because you think they want that. Okay, that is not going to work. Something which is not at all going to work. So you should be passionate about your idea, but you should not be obsessed with your idea. Okay, obsessed, or rather you should not be doing anything. And I would say rather the obsessed, you can be obsessed, that is in a positive way, but you cannot be blindfolded. You have to see it through. You have to do experiments. You have to do small experiments. You have to talk a lot of people, and you have to think that you have to I would say make sure that these guys are able to absorb what my I would say I have users for my idea. I will be having traction. Okay, for example, I'll give you a very so there was a time when matrimonials actually started coming in India. Okay, so at that point in time, multiple matrimonials came all of a sudden, and matrimony before that was not very I would say a big norm. So matrimony started working. Initially it had a lot of struggle, and eventually started working. But at the same time, there were a lot of sites which were actually trying to I would say make I would say marriages of the people who have broken marriages. Okay, so I would say widows, or for that matter who want to remarry people, for them there were websites for that as well. But that didn't work out. That did work out in West. That did work out outside India, but that had problems in India. Because even if you have audience, the acceptance of that idea to that audience is not easy. That's one of the examples. So either so before Flipkart as well, there were a lot of, I would say, initiatives who tried to do e-commerce, but they were, I would say, kind of ahead of time. Okay, not ahead of time, or rather they were not, I would say, able to build that ecosystem around. But over there, I would say what I'm trying to point out is either your idea is not fit for the market, or your idea is ahead of time. There are two things. If it's ahead of time, you have to be sustainable. You have to be, I would say, patient. Yeah, you have to be patient enough to wait for that time till the time it kicks off. Okay. If you guys should go and read the I would say story of Paytm as well. Nowadays everyone has Paytm, but Paytm started long back with just, I would say, it was an initially it used to, I would say, do some phone recharges using some just simple calls. So long back started, but eventually it came to an wallet and things turned up. So the idea of, so if you have an idea and if you want to evaluate your idea, just go ahead and I would say bounce it against the, I would say, bounce it against the customers, your potential customers. This is part one. And the most important thing is research. Okay, you have to do a lot of research. When I say research, You have to find every silly competition which is out there in your market. So you have to find the big, small, smaller, and even people who have just done it, I would say a month old, I would say, competition, or 2 months old competition. You should find as many as competition, not even in India, outside India as well. Find as many as competition as possible, or else your research is halfway through. Many people have ideas which has already been implemented and have failed. You should go ahead and know from their failures. Connect to those founders, connect to those folks who have started off, and ask them, what sort of problem did you face? And believe me, an entrepreneur will be very, very honest enough to tell you that what sort of problems he or she has faced, because at the end of the day, ultimately what that entrepreneur has, the venture of his or her has already failed. The ultimate thing which he or she has is the learning. He or she will help you around and tell you that these are the mistakes which I did. You guys should not go ahead and do the same. Very simple. Okay. So do the research. Your research should be very, very, I would say, deep, and you should be able to come up with as many as competitors as possible. Now, if you guys are comfortable, I just want to ask to all those folks who have an idea, have you guys done the research which is required out there? Utkarsh, I did not understand your question. Sorry. So all of you who has an idea, or for the people who does not have the idea, do you have the, I would say, attitude of researching anything before you do it? So is that something which you guys are, you do it, or is just about, I would say, you don't have the habit of researching and you just go ahead and do it? Okay, Priya is in the midway. Ayushman, okay. Okay, Ayushman, you're more than happy to, I used to leave the session. My idea requires ground research. Okay. What about capital we need for startup? Okay, Abhishek, I'll come to that. Okay, fine. So for the people who have not done research, okay, this is the first thing which you guys should understand, that you should do research to the depth of I would say to the core of it. Okay, and research does not mean that you need to have a lot of data around. Okay, data as in like the quantitative data. You can go ahead, Google it out right now. Google is one of the best, I would say, tools, or not tools, I would say best, I would say your friend. Google is your best friend. Earlier, if you want to do anything, you need to go ahead and look in the hard copies. Right now, everything is out there available in the soft copies. Go ahead and try to understand as much as you can about your competition and whosoever has been doing it before, how they have been doing it. And India is a very big market. Okay, now I'll be coming to the market. So once you have researched, if you see that there are competition, it's good. Okay, first came the idea. You have to understand that you cannot be obsessed about, sorry, you can, so I actually accepted that you can be obsessed about the idea, because at times obsession is good. Okay, but you cannot be blindfolded about your idea. You should always understand. You should do initial set of, I would say, research to see that are my customers, whosoever is my customer, rather whosoever is my target audience. You should devise some experiments to understand that just I would say small coupon or a small landing page, just to see that whether the particular, I would say, idea is bouncing it or not. Okay, just a survey for that matter. Many people have initially did just a survey that, do you want this product? If you this kind of product was there, would you buy it? Just a simple 4 questionnaire product. Go to a survey. There are a lot of survey platforms which are for free, and run it on the email IDs on your target audience. You'll get the email IDs very easily. That's also available if you do a bit of, I would say, hard work. Okay, that is about the ideation phase. Now coming is the research phase on the, I would say, whosoever is a competition. And you should, first and foremost, there can be 2 things. Either there can be competition or there cannot be any competition. So having competition is good. This means your idea is already validated by some people and market is working. And if your idea is for the Indian market, believe me, Indian market is huge. Okay, so you should try to not get panicked by people who are already out there doing something or the other, and you think that your idea won't work. You can do same thing in a different manner, and definitely it's going to work. Okay, it's not like your idea is not going to work just because someone else exists. No, that is not the case. Your idea will exist, and the market is so huge that it will actually be it will give you a, I would say, a very sustainable business also going ahead. Okay, so don't worry about that part. Third thing which I want to tell you guys is about the uh, how to actually understand that whether the market which my idea is going to, I would say, cater to. Okay, how to I would say uh, calculate the market. Okay, calculate, or rather how to estimate the market. So again, estimating the market is very easy. For that, I would just ask you guys to go ahead, and there's a book called Case in Point. Okay, you guys are from Triple IIT, so you might be able to, you might be, I would say, aware of this book, Case in Point. There are very nice guess estimates which are out there. Okay, I'm telling you some things which are very, very basics, and which you cannot, I would say, find it anywhere. There are certain books which tells you how to guess estimate, how to estimate your market. Okay, and how to estimate the particular potential of a market. So go ahead and do those cases for your particular market and find that suitable number, that this is the number which I should be going ahead. Okay, and always try to understand, in India, the penetration of internet is not very much, I would say, pronounced still. Okay, there is a chunk of people who does there's a huge chunk of people who does not use internet, but still, I would say, with the introduction of Geo, a lot of, I would say, things have changed. But you should understand the penetration of I would say internet in India. That is the part one. And second, the economies of India, economies as in like the I would say the earning capacity, or rather how much a person earns and can spend. You should always understand that, because very less people actually spend on most of the products. Okay, it's very important for you to understand that whom you are selling to, are they able to pay? If you think that India is 130 crore population, everyone is going to pay, no, that's not the truth. The half of them are, I would say, in below poverty line. Most of them are below poverty line. So you should understand that who is going to pay for your product. If you want ultimately your product to actually give you revenues, then you should understand who is your target customers, and out of that market you should take that particular chunk and only consider them if you want a revenue generating business. Okay, so that is, I would say, in a nutshell. So about how to start off an idea and do your experimentation, and then going ahead and trying to understand your market, and then try to understand that how to calculate your market. That is very important. Okay, so from here onwards, I would say most of the things are kind of I would say it is more about your execution. And nobody in this world, remember, nobody in this world can tell you how to execute things. All you can do is you can read as many books as possible and learn from the experiences of the existing entrepreneurs, because execution is always done by you, and you have to understand the nitty-gritties of it. The more you do, the more you understand. Every day you will learn something, every day something will get off and you have to repair. Everything will every time something needs to be fixed. So that you need to understand, that is only you can do it. At max you can learn it from some existing entrepreneurs, or you can learn as many as books as possible. Okay, that is how it's going to help you around. So for rest of you, I would say there is one small thing which I want to tell you guys. If you are going to be an entrepreneur, okay, after this I'll be taking questions. I wanted to spend most of the time in questions. I thought best I'll take it for 30 minutes. But this is the last thing I want to tell you guys. For all the folks who want to achieve anything big or want to be, I would say, an entrepreneur, you have to understand and you have to get away with all those bookish knowledge which you have, that have a work-life balance, have a, I would say, wake up in the morning, have 8 hours of sleep. All those things which you have learned has to be unlearned. Being an entrepreneur, or rather being, I would say, a leader, or if you have to achieve success, in simple words, you have to achieve success. You have to understand that you have to hard work. You have to take stress. You have to, I would say, at times skip meals as well. And you have to do all those things which a normal person is not doing, because you are not trying to be normal. You are beyond that crowd. Okay, that crowd which is living out, you have to be apart from that. 24 hours is for everyone. You have to make it understand for yourself that how you are going to take max out of that 24 hours. And you have to understand one thing, that you cannot let your body suffer, but still you have to, I would say, push your body to that level where you are able to, I would say, you're able to bring, I would say, you are able to bring that result out of the journey which you are going ahead with. Okay, and always remember, this I always do. I always tell in all of these sessions to all the folks in any sort of sessions. Your failure will always be yours. Okay, your success might be like once you succeed, there might be 10 different people who will come to you and say that, okay, you succeeded because I told you this, you succeeded because I did this something for you, you succeeded because XYZ, I'm your friend. A lot of things, your friends, your families will come and take part in your success. But when you fail, my dear friend, nobody in this world is going to come to you and say that you failed because of me. That is not going to happen. Okay, your failure will be yours. So if you are taking responsibility for your failure, my dear friend, always remember that you have to understand the fact that it's not going to be easy. Initial 1, 2, 3, 4 years is not going to be easy. You have to struggle, and the struggle is real. Okay, you have to understand that it will be very hard path. Every day is going to be new. You have to be self-motivated, the motivation should come inside. Every day you should find a motivation source. You should get a mentor, a dedicated mentor who can actually who will come and handhold to you and tell that this is something which happens. Okay, and I every time say to my students or whosoever actually interacts to me that this is something real. Everyone faces it. If you want to be successful, stress, I would say, working hard, and again, work life, I would say, messed up work-life balance. These are very natural things. Don't try to skip those things. If you're trying to do this, believe me, you're not trying to achieve what is required out there. And everyone out there, just go ahead and read the stories of every folk who have achieved success till date, have always been a person who have been through these things: stress, or rather messed up work-life balance, not having sacrifices, most important thing, sacrifices, not having a very good friend circle, being lonely. These are the things which will come to you. Okay, at the top, you are the seat at the top is very lonely. You have to sacrifice your friends, your community, your habits, a lot of things. Okay, and if you're not, I would say, if you have to sleep 8 hours in a day, if that is something which you think you cannot live without it, then you have to start developing a habit that how you can decrease half an hour, 5 minutes every day, and make it half an hour, and at times it will be an hour as well. Okay, so it took me a lot of pain. I had this 8 hours of minimum sleep cycle. It took me a lot of time to come across this struggle, and it took me and when I'm saying a lot of time, guys, I mean 6 to 7 years. It took from 8 to come to 7 when I'm still fresh. Okay, so these are some of the things which I want to tell you, and these are real things. I'm not going to tell you that you can do I would say miracles overnight. That is not going to happen. Struggle is real. Okay, but always remember, you can if you think you can. Okay, this is something which you should take away from this session, that you can always think, if you have a plan, if you can perceive that in your brain, if you have enough research you have done, if you have talked to enough people, if you can articulate it somewhere, then you can execute it at the end of the day. Just go ahead and do those things, and don't procrastinate. Okay, don't procrastinate. Go ahead and do it, and don't think your idea is like super I would say unique, or rather it needs to be protected. If it needs to be protected, go ahead and get a, I would say, patent for that idea or something of that sort which can protect it. But most of the ideas are, I would say, all about execution. Okay, I already told that when Flipkart started, before that a lot of e-commerce have started, but ultimately Flipkart was the first e-commerce in India. One of the, I would say, big the e-commerce which actually went ahead and got the name. So this is how you have to do it. Okay, ultimately it's execution which matters. Ideas are, I would say, it's very I would say commonly said, times a dozen you get an idea, but you should always remember that execution is the max important. Okay, now I'll take the questions from the very top. Okay, and okay, how to identify the right person to discuss our idea? Anand, I just told you about that. Everybody and anybody is the right person. Talk about your idea, get their feedback, but the most important thing is you should talk about an idea to a person who has already executed that idea, that the people who can be your potential mentors, or who is your target customer. Okay, just talk about your product, don't give them your idea. Let's suppose if you have an idea to I would say again, uh, make a pen, or rather make some unique pen which I would say based on your I would say paper changes. So any basic idea. I'm not able to think of an idea out of a box. But let's suppose you're right. So, okay, let's take the very cliched example of same again e-learning. If you want to start an e-learning platform, and if your target audience is supposedly the people who are passionate for, I would say, arts, and you want to not arts, I would say painting, and you want to teach them painting online. Okay, teaching painting online is very difficult. Okay, how you will be teaching painting online is going to be very difficult. Okay, so if you want to teach them painting online, then you should go ahead and talk about your product. That अगर if you had अगर तेरे पास एक platform होता कि तेरे को online अगर if you had got the opportunity to learn it online, so did you have opted for it? See their response. Okay, don't feed them. See the response. See the natural response. Oh नहीं, कौन सीखता online तो चलेगा नहीं. So you have one of the negative, I would say, feedbacks. So such kind of things you should always, these are the right people with whom you should actually bounce your idea. Okay. Still doing research. Anushka saying still doing research. When do we know if the research is enough? Very good question, Anushka. So research is never enough. I am still doing research in, I would say, in different sectors which I want to, or rather in my company itself, we do a lot of research. Research is never enough, but there is a time when you realize that, I would say, these many people, you have talked to 500 odd folks, and out of that 500 odd folks, I got certain responses, and this is the decision making. Out of 500 folks, if 400 or rather even 300 are saying that they don't want that product, they don't think that they will be using that product, it's a failed I would say product. Okay, so again, you have to just make that set, that this is the set after which I'll decide that I'm not going to I'm going to go ahead, or I'm not going to go ahead with the idea. Okay, my idea needs a trust, but it's very difficult to gain customers trust. Any idea on that? Okay, Anand, it's a very deep question. I would be able to answer this question if I know your idea. Okay, it's very difficult to gain customers trust, but that is what is all about. If you don't earn the customer trust, how are you able to sell any products to them? Okay,
So
but anyways,
it's a teaching idea only.
sorry, Anand, you're saying something.
Yes, sir, it's a teaching idea. You guessed right.
Okay, it's a teaching idea. So, anyways, so the core part, Anand, of I would say business is earning your customers' trust. If you are not trustworthy to your customer, then I will say nobody is going to pay for your product. And how to be trustworthy? Okay, that's the real question. How you can actually make your customer trust. Yeah, say the things which are real. Don't go ahead and fake things around. Okay, so for example, over here I haven't said a single thing which is wrong. Okay, I have said what I have faced, what sort of struggles I have faced, and I have I would say 2.5 years of entrepreneurship journey. Before that, I was an intrapreneur, not an entrepreneur. I used to work for companies, but used to work on certain projects. So so whatever I have said, it was based on certain experiences which I had, that is real. So most of you might have trusted, and some of you might not. I saw some of the people left and have also said that they are not able to relate. So again, I was not able to earn the trust of those folks. But for some people, for example, if you are listening to me, if you are interested in my answer, that means that you trust me, because whatever I have said is based on my experiences. So once you are trying to teach someone, try to teach things which you already know, which you are good at, and you know that this is the right way to do it. Okay, and don't go all in. Just try to have 5 to 10 students initially, and see that if they're able to relate, if they are kind of very much fan of yours, then you will be able to understand the rest of the people will also fall in place. Okay, great. So let's move ahead. Aviral is not Casey Point, it's case in point. CASE, case in point. Casey Point sounds very it's funny. Okay. Utkarsh says, yes, India is a big market, but it comes with a huge lot of foundations with it. Okay, Utkarsh, what sort of foundations you are talking about? India is a very interesting market, my dear friend. Believe me, and it's not very easy for anyone to crack India, but for Indians it's very easy, because we understand the mindset of Indians. It's not very easy for any foreign player to come across in India and actually crack it, but India is a very interesting market. Please tell about the steps you took in the ideation stage of PrepWise which actually brought fruitful results. Okay, Priya. So I'll tell you again something very honest. We started with just a landing page. If you guys understand what's a landing page, do you guys understand what's the difference between a website and a web application? Website is just a page which has, I would say, you can just see it. You cannot perform any sort of actions over there. It's just a kind of a landing page. At max, you're able to sign up. Okay, at max, you're able to sign up. Sign up as in like you can fill your lead. That's it. An application is a place where you can do all sort of. You can get into a dashboard. You can play a video. You can run some, I would say, do some coding, XYZ. These kind of are things that are where you can do multiple functional things. Those are applications. Website is just a landing page. So we initially started, we knew our idea, we had our video lessons. All we did is we just had a, I would say, initial landing page out there, and we published it out there, and we used to call each and every customer who used to come over there, and we actually have gone through all the non-monetary ways. We went to colleges and did workshops. We went to Facebook groups and told them about our product, and then the leads used to come, and we used to spend 30 to 40 minutes just talking to them and making them understand about the product, that how it's a unique recipe which we have built for you, and you can get all these stuffs at one place rather than just going around here and there. So initially it's not going to be easy, but you have to just go ahead out there and start doing things. You just, we could have waited that complete website is built, our coding platform is built, our LMS is built, and then we'll go in market. No, that's not the way. Go ahead with the minimum MVP resources, and we didn't even have an MVP. It's just a landing page, and we went across. And initially, post that, what we did is we used WordPress. So WordPress. So we used I would say, a framework where it's plug and play. We used WordPress. Right now, there are multiple other I would say avenues. Wix is one, and multiple other plug and play websites where you can just go ahead and see that how your idea is working within 24 hours. And I'm saying a lot right now, though I can do it in 3 hours. But for you guys, and if you guys are techies, or rather if you understand a bit of technology, if you know how to use email, and you can go ahead in settings and I would say enable your double authentication, or rather you can change the background of your inbox. If you can do this much, then it needs just 24 hours for you guys to launch an idea into the market with a product, with a digital product out there. So many plug and play has come into play. Okay, great. Prerit asking, sir, what would you prefer? A pre-planned business idea or something which tackles things in real time and that is dynamic? Okay, very complicated question. Pre-planned business idea or something which tackles things in real time and is dynamic. Prerit, what do you mean by pre-planned business idea? Every idea is pre-planned. Every business is a pre-planned business. You cannot just go out there and say कि आज अपने को business खड़ा करने का है. ऐसा नहीं होता. You have an idea which is pre-planned. Okay, at least you will plan for 2-3 days. If minimum, if you'll plan. Okay, even 3 days is not enough. People plan for a year or so. And if you mean that just go ahead and start doing things, then I would say not a very good idea. You should do your research. Going ahead and start doing things might put you a bit under, I would say, problems. आपको realize होगा कि बहुत सारी चीजें आपको research कर लेनी चाहिए थी. Okay, okay, Suryansh, how has your personal revenue grown over the years? Again, money. So my personal revenue has not grown, my dear friend Suryansh. So right now, we are just like normal employees. We draw salaries, and it's not easy for an entrepreneur. So unless your business is profitable and a lot of other ways by which you can actually make money, but that's not the stage. That comes when your business is, I would say, huge. Okay. So my personal revenues have been lesser than what I used to be in the job. Okay, just to give you a reality touch to it. Okay. Am I asking too much from myself when thinking that I can do a corporative job? Okay, I understood what you're trying to say, corporate job, while providing the world with the result of our processed idea, like the way Minecraft was created.
That word is world, providing the world.
Okay, providing the world with the result of the processed idea. Okay, so Utkarsh, you're not asking a lot. A lot of people do it with the job. But remember, there will be a phase when you have to just get away with the job. Okay, I'm telling you, there's a certain stage till which you can manage both your job and your startup. But there is a stage where your startup will need you. It will be thirsty for you because you are the energy behind it. So at that point in time, leave that corporate job and go ahead and, I would say, serve that startup, serve that idea which you have actually brought in. Okay, because it cannot go always. There will be a time when your startup will need full time of yours, and that is the time you should actually skip your job. You can do both the things parallelly, but again, entrepreneurship in itself is a very big struggle. Now you are taking a corporate job and then you are trying to do an entrepreneurship is going to be a very tough nut for you. You have to be prepared for that. I did that. I was able to do it for 5 months. Okay. But I had a very, I would say learned, experienced, or rather a very talented co-founder who was out there to look at it. And when the business needed it full time, I went into it, and I had certain personal issues as well, my personal problems which I needed to tackle, which I needed to settle. Okay, and then only I knew that I would be able to get into entrepreneurship. I settled those problems. I would say minimal of those. A lot of them are still out there. I settled the minimal of those problems, and then I stepped into at the point where my business craved for us. Okay, both of us, full time. So answer to your question is yes, to a certain stage, not beyond that, or else you will jeopardize your idea, your, I would say, your life most of the time, because at times you realize that if I would, okay, or the idea would have been big. Sir, I am in first year. Is the correct time to do startup? Abhishek, there is no correct or incorrect time to do a startup. There have been people who have done it at 60. There have been people who have done it at 19, 18, 16 as well. You can start the day you want to start, but always do your research, your homework really well before you get into that particular phase. Okay. There were many folks in my college who have started a lot of startups during their college journey, and they again started up after, I would say, leaving the college. They did some corporate job, and again they started up. But yes, they did in the college. A lot of them have started in the college. You can do it. There is no harm in doing it, but don't compromise with your I would say academics. I would say again, it's a very calculated play which has to be out there. If you are very sure that it's going to work, then you can compromise anything. How we aware a large number of customers at initial stage about our application? Akash, your question is not clear. If you can please switch on your mic and tell me what you mean. How we aware a large number of customers at initial stage about our application? If you want to ask how to get large number of customers, then you can write yes, but I'm not able to understand the question, my dear friend. Very sorry. Nila is asking, is there any roadmap of what to do at very early stage where I am? Nila, I don't know at what stage right now you are. Can you please switch on your mic?
Sir, means I was saying that currently we are at idea stage. Means we two friends have thought an idea. Now what things we have to do next? Like that.
Okay, if you have an idea out there, first and foremost, देखो कि ये idea और किसके पास है. Is it unique? Is it completely unique? Or there is someone who is doing slightly closer to that? Okay, and make that list. Make that list, and then write all the features these guys are offering. Everything they are offering, even the silliest of the silliest feature, for that matter, forget password. That is also one of the features. Okay, guys, for you guys to make you understand, forget password is also a feature. Right, silliest of the silliest feature that they are offering, and then make a comparison analysis what you can do different, and your MVP, your minimum viable product, which, or rather you can call it minimum value product, which is out there, should have that feature incorporated. Okay, because that will be your USP. That is how you're going to go ahead and say that I am different, use my product. Okay, but if you don't have a competition, let's suppose your idea is completely unique. I would say an idea which has never existed. That is also possible. I'm not saying that's not possible. Your idea has never existed. Then find the potential customers of those idea. Okay, if your potential customer is a kid, if I'm saying a kid, 2 years kid, or rather for that matter, a 10-year-old, or for that matter, a 60-year-old, go ahead and talk to, or rather give I would say a basic prototype or a initial working I I would say, prototype, or even not a prototype, just bounce that idea against them and in a discussion, and don't prompt answers to them. Just as the bato mein, you have to make them, I would say, pitch the product. Pitch the product as in like, would you have used this product if it would have been with you? And don't try to push them. Let the natural answer come. You say, oh yes, I would have excited to use that product. Okay. But some would say, no, what doesn't make sense. I'm happy with this. Okay. So such kind of things. I'll give you a very, okay, I have 3 minutes. I'll give you I will say a story to all of you guys. Okay. A very, very famous company once, what they did was, so right now you guys might have heard about Siri and Apple and Cortana out there. They speak Alexa. Okay, these guys are speaking out there, and I would say people are fantasizing about it. Okay, but long back there was an experiment which happened. Okay, so if I'm not sure, it was IBM. Okay, so what happened is that IBM wanted to do an experiment. Okay, they wanted to launch this product and they wanted to replace secretaries. Okay, I would say, I'm not sure was it IBM or some other company, but it was a very big, I would say, very big firm. Okay, so they wanted to replace the secretaries, or rather the personal secretaries of I would say big suits, I would say black suits, and they wanted to remove these personal secretaries. So what they thought, if there is a, I would say, if there is a device which is able to do everything for the people, everything for that particular folk, then most of the things would be the role of this personal secretary would be actually obsolete. Okay, and they thought of building that particular prototype. And so, but at that point in time, I would say, I'm talking about a lot of decades back. Okay, so at that point in time, to build that prototype, it was very costly project. It was $1 million, more than, I would say, at that point in time, $1 million project. So you cannot spend that much money in an experiment. So when this idea was discussed, and the company head, actually the directors of the company wanted to do this product, that let's try this product out where we can replace our personal secretaries for the C-suits, and we can make it as a B2B offering. Okay, secretaries will make them obsolete, and we'll give them particular devices or machines which can work in place of secretaries. But making that was really I would say, a money-intensive job. So there was I would say, a kind of a managerial level guy who said, if you want to test this product, let's call some, I would say, executive level people, some, I would say, black suit executive level people, and see if they want to use this product. But again, the director said that but uske liye to we need to build that product. He said, no, it's not necessary to build that product. Okay, we don't need to invest this much of money. What we can do is, we can keep a machine. Okay, we can keep a machine and say that we'll tell them that this machine we have built, and it speaks. Okay, whatever you say, it will respond. And what they did, under the table, they put I would say, an executive out there and asked that particular person that whatsoever question is coming, you are going to speak it out, and that will be I would say, that the delegation which is coming to test the product is able to hear. So that is how I would say, that is how they tested the product. So when the delegation came in and they saw that, oh, now, so it was told to the delegation that we have replaced the personal secretaries with this particular machine, and whatsoever you ask this machine to do, they'll do. If you want them to write, I would say, MOU for a particular collaboration, that MOU will be written. If you ask them to write the MOU, minutes of the meeting for a particular agenda, then that would be written. Okay, so anything you ask, that can be done. So that delegation was really fantasized. Oh wow, so, it's going to happen. I'm going to say, and it's going to write. So what happened that when the delegation went to that machine and they said, they do this, do that, and everything was been done, or rather it was done from the voice, by that executive who was sitting down the table and was trying to do it manually, everything. So they realized, wow, it's a very nice product. So when the IBM asked this delegation, will you buy this product? They said, it's a very nice product, but we don't think that we would buy this product, because having I would say, personal secretary, or rather, it cannot replace I would say, the aura, or rather the feeling of having a personal secretary, or rather the actual essence of having a personal secretary. So we won't be buying this. So we don't think that we are going to buy this product. So just by one small expense, they did not spend a single penny in that. Just a box out there, a dabba, on from where I would say a simple person was just speaking of. They were able to, I would say, test a product. So when once you have to test a product, you don't need to do a lot of money. You don't need to do a lot of, I would say, expensive experimentation. Be very smart. Be as precise as you can be. Okay, but just understand that ultimate agenda is to understand that is this idea is going to work or not. I hope I was able to convey to you guys what I was trying to tell you. Okay. Ambuj, how did COVID affect e-learning? It did affect in a good way to the very big players. For the rest, it's very, I would say, it increased the competition to a very great extent. How well prepared do you think students are to face company interviews once they are freshly out of university? It's completely dependent on the, not related to this session, but Aditi Yadav is completely dependent on the student who is he or she is doing it. Okay, it's completely dependent on the, I would say, preparation level of that student. Very simple. How can we show our USP at early stage, because competition have all things built and we have nothing like any new technology? Okay, fine. So I can tell you by example. So when Oyo came, how many of you have heard of Oyo? Anyone have heard of Oyo? I guess most of you might have heard, or rather from the time when Airbnb came in. Okay, so what was the pitch of Oyo? Get a hotel in $9.99. At that point in time, no one can even think of a hotel in $9.99 with all those, I would say, facilities which they were giving: Wi-Fi, AC, bed, TV, everything out there, breakfast as well. Okay, but their tagline was get the same thing in $9.99. So your USP has to be highlighted, Nile. Even if it's you have to build that USP. Everything is fine. Everything will fall in place if you have everything, all sort of technology, but your technology should be ensured by some means. Even if you're doing it manually, my dear friend, the way I showed you the example, if you have to do something, I would say, ensure that this is being done, and you have to, I would say, ask 10 people to do. If you want something technology to do, but you find that technology, to build the technology will take a year, then get so many people that who will be able to customize that in the background. Okay, so for example, so example, YouTube has a policy, okay, that if you upload anything on YouTube, you see that if it's a bad content, rather not filtered content, it gets banned. But that is not automated. For a long period of time, there was a whole lot of people who were sitting in the background and they were looking at the particular videos, all the videos which were uploaded manually, and they were actually rejecting it. So such a big company is still doing things manually. So if you're not able to put your USP by building it in a product, then you can ensure by some of the other means. But if it's completely product driven, then wait for that product to be made. Okay, and Nile, प्रोडक्ट को बनाना जरूरी नहीं है उसको टेस्ट करने के लिए. आई टोल्ड यू कैन डू अ सर्वे, और उस सर्वे का क्वेश्चंस ऐसे रखो, ट्राई टू कीप दोस क्वेश्चंस ऑफ द सर्वे इन अ वे दैट you are not asking direct questions about the usage of the product, but still you are getting the answer of that question. Okay, answer to your product. That is very important. Okay, that whether someone will be using this product or not. Your research, your survey question has to be really, really, I would say, smart and tricky. Great. Vishal, okay, so I'll be last 4 minutes, my dear friends. I'll be taking some couple of remaining questions. Vishal had a question. Sorry, I missed it. Is it necessary to have funds and team for a startup beginning, or it's a myth? It's a myth and truth both. But fund is needed to a certain extent, but everything is not dependent on fund. If you have a team and they are qualified enough to work for you for free, then it's not required. Okay. Initially it's not required, but if your business idea in itself is driven by funds, it's a heavy, I would say, business with initial capital inflow, then that cannot start with the initial capital inflow. For example, anything related to real estate, It's very capital intensive. Okay, until unless you are doing cataloging, that's a different thing. If real inventory is involved, then you cannot do it without money. You need initial capital to start a business. Okay, but that's not true for all the businesses right now. Most of the businesses start off with almost negligible funds and a bit of initial funding. If you are able to bring attraction, you will get it very easily. Okay, right now the ecosystem has developed to an extent where you can get it very easily. Nilay Patel, entrepreneurship, no, CGPA does not matter. If you're asking for interviews, yet at times it matters. Yes, Aviral, that's the book name. So a very good idea from my point of view, but I'm unable to implement because of academics. What to do in this situation, sir? Okay. Abhishek Shukla, wait for the academics to settle. Those things are not going to be easy, my dear friend. I already told you in the beginning, things are not going to be easy. Things are always going to be hard. You have to choose academics को कितना बैलेंस करना है, कितना CGPA लाना है. इतना CGPA में काम चल जाएगा तो बाकी टाइम एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप को देंगे. मेरे को 8 पॉइंटर चाहिए, मेरे को 7 पॉइंटर चाहिए, मेरे को 9 पॉइंटर चाहिए, साथ में एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप सही चाहिए, तो बाबा बहुत दिक्कत है. Okay, it's going to be very tough. Both, so you have to compromise, you have to sacrifice a lot. And college life में doing sacrifice is still not easy. Okay, it's not very easy to do that sacrifice in college life because a lot of things, it's a kind of a fairy tale story at times. College life is really happening life. So if you're missing, if you're trying to do both the things, you have to be really hard nosed and I would say focused to your max. If someone is giving interview to Google, so what things they should keep in mind? Aviral, that's not relevant to this session. Okay. But still, if you Google, ask for googliness. If you understand what that means, you are through. How to get funding for research? Nobody is going to give you funding for research until unless your research has to be, until unless your research is you're doing it for some PhD or in collaboration with an university. Don't think that you will get money for the research. It's very tough, very, very, very tough. What do you think the edtech bubble is going on? Recall 90s.com bubble. Okay, college are gonna open as soon. Colleges are gonna open as soon as COVID gets over. What challenge you feel for your edtech startup? Prashant, I don't feel challenging at all. I am 100% sure that edtech is going to stay. It's going to stay for long. It's not because of COVID. It has taken a shape. The number of players have increased because of COVID, but edtech is going to stay and edtech is going to change the education system, and that I'm 100% sure of. I'm not at all threatened by the fact that COVID is going to go, and because we were before COVID, COVID came and now again it kind of slowed down. Again things are coming back. We sustain and will sustain because we know what we are doing is required out there, and until unless we are putting value to the students out there, we are giving value to the students, we will stay. And all the edtechs who are actually giving the value, I guess someone asked this question, how can you trust your customers, make your customers trust? Until unless we are giving the value to the customers and customers are trusting us, we are going to, I would say, we are going to stay. Okay. Great. I guess Nilay has jotted down, I would say, points. Okay, my dear friends, case in point is only for the people who want to do, I say, guess estimates to know your market. It's not for entrepreneurship. Okay, it will give you a sense of how to understand businesses entry point. But this have very, I would say, minimal cases. If you really want to solve cases, there is a very nice book by IIT Bombay guy. I cannot remember. But you'll find on Google on case studies. Try to read as many as case studies as possible from Harvard or I would say this the one book which I've just forgot the name, that is also good. Try to read as many as books, as many as experiences of entrepreneurs, as many as case studies as possible. Your books will be your best I would say friends until unless you have a mentor. And having a mentor is not easy. You don't get mentor every day out there, especially in entrepreneurship. But if you are a part of any sort of incubation acceleration program, that is also taken care of. So try to go ahead with that. How to make people answer survey? Oh ho, Aviral. थोड़ा मेहनत तो करना पड़ेगा. Everything cannot happen just by doing it. People for you to make them people answer survey. First and foremost, so you can go room by room if you have your target audience somewhere nearby. Uh, and if you don't have, I would say if you're doing the survey on email open rates are you should know what is the open rate of an email. Okay, it's very low. Emails are not open. Okay, and if you are doing it through any other media, you have to make sure that I would say you have to keep some kind of carrot out there, but you have to find that carrot. That is where the creativity is out there. When we used to do surveys, we used to give free sessions, and we literally used to take those sessions for 2 complete days. So not an easy task to do. So if you are doing it, if you're going ahead with that, then you have to understand that this is something which needs to be done. You have to fight for it. Even getting results out of survey is not easy. You're right. Okay. There were time when people go, I would say, block by block to just get the right data in. Okay, so right now, I won't recommend going block to block because things are very riskier out there. You guys are right now in your home or your colleges have opened? Triple IIT Nagpur. Guys, all of you. घर पे हैं और home. Okay, great. Fine. How long? It's kind of might be getting boring, guys. कोई नहीं. I would say keep yourself safe. That is most important, my dear friends. At this point in time, Vaibhav, okay. So EdTech is not going to saturate, my dear friend. बहुत बड़ा market है. It's a very big market. Okay. Saturation is not going to come. Just have some value in it. Okay, try to just replace EdTech. आप जब EdTech बोल रहे हो तो हर EdTech में एक तो स्टार्टअप होगा ही, एक कंपनी होगा. आप सोचो कि कितने सारे कोचिंग सेंटर्स अभी चल रहे हैं इंडिया में. अगर हर किसी की जगह पे एक डिजिटल कोचिंग होगा तो just try to understand that kind of scale. Okay, so कभी कोचिंग सेंटर्स बंद हुए नहीं. Okay, basically IIT JEE coaching centers, you might have seen so many coaching centers, or rather so many schools for that matter, so many colleges out there. India has more than 5,000 engineering colleges. ओके, पॉलिटेक्निक मिला लोगे, एमटेक ले लोगे तो और भी ज्यादा होगा. ठीक है, जब इतने सारे ब्रिक एंड मोर्टार चल रहे हैं तो व्हाई डू यू थिंक दैट एडटेक इज गोइंग टू गेट सैचुरेटेड, जबकि वहां पर टेक्नोलॉजी को यूज करके और एनेबल किया जा रहा है. कुछ सैचुरेट नहीं होने वाला है. प्लीज, इफ यू वांट टू स्टार्ट समथिंग इन एडटेक, गेट दिस अवे फ्रॉम योर हेड. At max you might get acquired by a larger player, but over there also there is nothing to lose, my dear friend. Okay, ठीक है. All of you guys just go ahead and be safe, and don't try to do just wear your mask because things are slightly going off the track right now once again. And always remember that you can if you think you can, my dear friends. Okay, nobody else in this world is going to come for your failure, but everyone will come to you if you will succeed. Okay, so your failure is your own, so always remember that you are there, and you are there to achieve something big, and always think that you can. Okay, and tune your brain inside to this extent. Plan it as much as possible, because the more you are prepared before the war, the more you will be, I would say, closer to winning the war. Okay, thanks a lot, guys. Good night, and I would say be safe, most important thing. Okay.
Once again, I would like to thank Mr. Aditya Verma for taking out time from their busy schedule and enlightening us with the knowledge. Also, thank you to all the students present here for paying your attention and learning. Now I would request Anushka to proceed further to present the vote of thanks.
Sorry about that. I got disconnected. So I'd like to take this. I'd like to take this opportunity on behalf of Triple IT Nagpur to express our sincere thanks to Mr. Aditya Verma sir to give us such an insightful session on entrepreneurship. We assure you, sir, your teachings have proven to be very helpful to all the young entrepreneurs here. Thank you very much and have a good evening.
And same to you, Anushka, and I guess Aditi was there. Thank you, guys. Thank you, all of you, once again. I guess I would say, another session coming across. Thank you, guys. Thanks a lot. Bye, and have a great night.